I'm Jessica Lewen, Director of Marketing at Upside Avenue. Thank you for joining us for Upside Insights, where we check with investment experts and get their opinions on how we can live our upside. I'm here today with CEO of Upside Avenue and Casoro Group, Yuen Yung. Yen, how's it going?
It's going good. Thanks for having me, Jess. Good to
Good.
see you.
Um, how are you doing with the pandemic times? Have you learned
Oh,
anything about
yeah.
new about yourself?
It's interesting times. Very different, and not exactly what we were expecting for this year. But here we are. We're healthy and things are okay, and we're going to keep moving. And we're going to help those that are not as fortunate and try to figure out what we need to do.
Yeah, that's exciting. We actually recently spoke with Janet Brown from Fund X, and she talked about impact investing and how there's a growing number of investors who are interested in doing some good with their investments. Now, many companies are developing sustainability and corporate social responsibility goals, and a lot of them aligns with maybe one or more of the UN's sustainable development goals in environmental, social, or governance categories. So we're in the multifamily industry. So what are some ways that our industry can make a difference?
Yeah, I will say a couple of things there. One is on social impact. There's a lot of different aspects to that. The one that you mentioned was around the environmental piece, and the good news there is we've been working on that for quite a while already. Whether it's things like flush efficient toilets, to LED light bulbs to try to lower energy usage, anything around water, energy. We've been working on that for the past probably 4 or 5 years already. So that stuff is already happening. Putting in Nest thermostats to lower energy usage. Those things have been going on for quite a while, and the industry itself has been revolutionizing that as we continue and making those things happen across the board. So from an environmental standpoint, I feel pretty good about where multifamily is going. I think that we continue to look at not only just the basics of electricity and water, but then also the materials that we use to build the stuff, the type of paint that we use to make sure that those things are not health endangering health. And so those things are going to continue, and I think that's great. Another aspect I think of social impact is really around people. And so the stuff we talked about was around the environment. There's also stuff around people. And when you look at that, that's really where a lot of the work that we're putting in is happening today. So as a minority owned business, 100% minority owned, we're very focused on the landscape of where we are today, which is that real estate can generate a lot of wealth, but it's been very concentrated in terms of where that wealth is going. And so a lot of the work that Upside is working on, Casoro is working on, what we're focused on is how do we bring more diversity into the real estate world, because we know that that can create a lot of wealth. And through that wealth creation and that economic change, it could truly impact people across the board. So we're working on some programs now around education first. How do we educate more people about real estate and why it can generate a lot of wealth? Then bring in actual investments to support that, so that long term what you will have is you will have much more diversity in the real estate market, especially in multifamily, which is a great place for a lot of people to build wealth. And so that combination of putting together investment plans that will allow people to make money on real estate, but then knowing that some of those dollars that they made is going towards education and growing more people of color into the real estate world. That's the next big push that we're looking at.
That is fantastic. What are you hoping to achieve with all of this then?
Well, I think equality is a big part of the conversation, and social equality, especially from an economic standpoint. Uh, our long term view on this is that the more diverse the market can be when it comes to real estate, the more likely that we'll have more social justice, and more likely that we will have more economic balance. But you have to start somewhere. And so the thought is that you start with education first. Education is very important. So you start teaching people about the real estate industry, what career paths are there available in the real estate industry, and then how is money made in the real estate? Why is it that real estate is so steady and does so well? We got to teach that, and a lot of people don't know that. And so if we bring more people of color, more diversity into that platform of education and then practical job and knowledge, what will happen is over time, we hope that the wealth will start getting spread more.
So it sounds like there are groups that may not even be, looking at real estate as a possibility, as an opportunity for them.
Yeah, sometimes real estate gets overlooked because so much of the media is around the stock market and around the bond market, and that is immediate minute by minute feedback. And I think the tendency is that it's easier to sensationalize. But if you look at it historically, if you look at true wealth generation, where is wealth truly generated? What you find is real estate is one of the biggest components of whether it's family offices, high net worth individuals, even just for the average American, just owning your own home, for example. All of those things lead to the inequalities if it's only a certain subsegment that has access to it. So what we're trying to do is to try to increase that access and be able to educate more people so that they feel comfortable coming into this industry, so that they don't overlook real estate, because real estate honestly is the only thing that they always joke around. They don't make more of it, and it just keeps growing over time. And we want to make sure that people have access to that, which is, in our viewpoint, true wealth preservation and wealth accumulation.
That's great. So, what are some of the things that we're working on now that you can talk about?
Oh gosh, man, we have probably a laundry list of things that we're working on now. Obviously, there's a lot of pieces to it. One is from company wise, hiring through more diversity, right, and making sure that we continue to have that. And I'm proud to say that we're a very highly diversified company. Whether it's minorities, whether it's LGBTQ community, whether it's female oriented, all of those things, young, old. I mean, we've got the mix. And so I'm very proud of that as a company, and being a part of that. Specific to the multifamily side, what we've been doing is a lot of focus on the residents themselves and understanding more and more what the residents need and what the residents want. So do they still want the tennis court? And what we're finding is maybe the tennis court isn't very popular anymore. Maybe they are more geared towards basketball or soccer, or maybe it's they're hourly wage workers and they really need help for their kids when their kids are out of school. So how do we put after school programs in those communities to help offset that? Sometimes it's learning English as a second language. That's a possibility of what we've done in some communities where we actually offer classes. Something as simple as maybe getting their tax returns done, right? For a lot of us, we don't think about that, but for them, it's a burden, right? And so being able to provide some of those services on site and improving those communities is some of the social impact that we do at a ground level, right? And so those things are happening on a constant basis. And we get feedback from our folks in terms of what they need. Sometimes they need financial literacy, right? And so we'll bring in financial planners for free and talk to them and educate them and have those conversations. So again, laundry list of everything that is needed. The idea here is that if we create a better home environment for them, they're going to be able to live better lives, and through that better lives, they're going to be able to be more productive, whether in society or whatnot. And so it's a trickling effect of what we do on a ground level and then what it leads to on a greater whole.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. We're going to, I hope everyone's going to be excited to look for and looking forward to what's coming down in the pipeline, how, we're trying to make a difference. And thank you for taking the time to share your thoughts and on what multifamily, as an industry and as a company, what we're doing to make a better world, for everyone to live in and to provide better homes for better lives. So thank you again, Yen, for taking the time for sharing your thoughts with us.
My
And
pleasure.
And to our viewers, if you enjoy receiving information in this format, click on that button to follow us on social media and follow us on YouTube. Thanks again, and everyone, stay safe.
Thank you.